heavy legs, heavy minds coming off Wednesday. Did you kind of feel like it was that way out there?
Not at the beginning,
Right.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought we started really brightly. I thought that we gave them some problems. I thought Momo Darius running behind the line really was impressive. And then you can see the first set piece goal, and then the second set piece goal, and then it just changes the entire feeling of the game. So I think, by and large, if we were able to just sustain some of that, or maybe even score a goal, it would have changed the entire makeup of how it went. But yeah, when it all comes down to it, I think there's just moments in games that change how it all looks. And I know that's the cliche of goals change games, but I think for us it's just, and Eric said it after the game, we don't have time to overthink it. We have to take the lessons and then move on. We're not going to change who we are at this point in the season, but there are moments where we drop levels 5%, 10%, and things change.
What was your perspective on what went wrong defending those two set pieces?
I mean, I think they did a good job of making our line drop early with one guy stepping and then the next guy coming in. But then in that moment, it becomes, are we getting hands on guys and bumping them and slowing them down so they don't have free runs? Because inevitably you think we're dropping and then they're timing the runs off our drop. So it's really about, okay, well, are we getting enough push against those runners so they're not getting free headers? And both of them, I think we're pretty clean headers on the first contacts. The first one, it's a little bit of a scramble. Dane makes a good save, but then it's just about the second ball. But then the second one's just about that contact.
What did you feel like there was some you talked about the young guys starting out and kind of Dom as well. What did you feel like was working?
No, I think, I mean, we had decent little spells on the ball. We were able to play between lines, and you look at what Momo's profile is, what Darius's profile, and then Fitzy underneath. It's really, those guys can stretch and he can find the pockets underneath. And I think you saw moments and flashes of the things we wanted. But again, it just was one of those where once the first goal goes in, the second goal goes in, the plan starts to change a little bit.
Obviously, you've been talking all season about playing for trophies. Now that, at least for the Supporters Shield and the U.S. Open Cup, probably those chances are gone.
Sure.
What do you sort of point at for the last 3 games of the season?
I mean, I think if you're in a top 4 spot in the league, it's Champions League for next year. I think it doesn't change the fact that we're still going to try it with everything we can to win the Western Conference. It doesn't change the fact that MLS Cup is still well within our sights. So the point Eric made about flushing this down the toilet a little bit is super important, because if you allow these things to dwell and sit on your conscience too much, you start to overthink it, and then it bleeds into the next result, and then playoffs can end quickly.
How long did you kind of dwell on
Wednesday? I mean, I think the evening, because it ended so abruptly, I think you look at it as a gut punch for sure, but you knew that you had this game coming up, so that you just don't have time. I mean, I took maybe Thursday morning, and then after that's the next thing coming. So when you have kind of the next game in your sights, it's easier to move on. And again, I think the way we started this game was positive, but ultimately it's about results right now.
How much, when you have a couple of injuries that sort of come up in the week, how much does that sort of weigh on you too, where you go, oh, we're out, and we've lost 2 guys?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you don't want guys to get injured at this point in the season, but you play the hand you're dealt, right? I think we're here to try to adapt and move forward and not make victims of ourselves.
Thanks for the time.
Thanks.
Thank you.